All right, so let's go to that major league debut. I was looking at it again the other day. Pat Hainkin on the mound. You're facing the Blue Jays up in Toronto. It's I just watching that trip around the base paths. There's so much going on in that 2 minutes or whatever it is. From hitting the home run, I think you point at your parents who managed to get up there in time for the game. You get to the dugout and get the classic silent treatment. Then the big hug. I mean that was a hell of a 2 minutes in the life of Kevin Youkilis, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of 2 minutes in the life of Kevin Youkilis, to be honest. But no, it was wild. I mean, it just, like I said, I had 4 hours of sleep, but I was just running on adrenaline the whole time. And my first at bat, I popped it up, 2-1 changeup, popped it up. I'm like, hit the roof, and then I was like, wait, we're not in Montana. Because I skied it. I just missed it, right? So then I get the 2-1 pitch again, and I just crushed it. And I was like, oh, my God. And I don't know, now they do the average, home run trots. I'm definitely up there with Tyler O'Neill on that home run trot that I got around the bases. I was flying. I mean, I was going around so quick, and then, hitting third, going home, and then giving a high five at home plate, and that was the only high five I got. And then I look in the dugout, and Toronto is perfect too, because everyone can kind of sneak down and kind of do their thing underneath. And then it was just sitting next to Mills, and I'll tell you, it was just so cool. After I just sat there for a couple minutes, catching my breath, because I ran quick around those bases, and just the shock, oh my God, I just hit a home run in my first. I wasn't a home run hitter per se. And it was just a crazy feeling when all the guys came around. And one of the other special moments was, my parents being there. My parents were everything to me. My father was such a great mentor in so many ways. My mom driving me and my brothers around. And, that's why Mother's Day, it was such a special day for us, for all the sacrifices they made for us. And then I'll never forget, too, that it's kind of a sadder story, but my roommate my freshman year passed away. He committed suicide, had some mental issues, being bipolar, high school friend. And we always talked about that day that he would be there on my, if I ever made it to the major leagues. It was a dream I talked about with him all the time. And just that emotion hit me too. At one point I started breaking down because I was thinking about my friend Donnie Cram and him being there, and I just saw a smile. It was one of the cooler moments where you just vision things in life, and saw his smile and just thought how proud he would be of that moment. So it was very emotional. It was very exciting. And the best part about it was hey, today you're in the big leagues. Tomorrow you're facing Roy Halladay. So go get him, kid. So it was a lot of fun. And Toronto will always be such a memorable place for me.
I mean, that is amazing to have a moment in your life, really, where you can have so many people kind of with you. Was that in the dugout that you were breaking down, right after hitting the home run?
It was after all the guys came around me, and I kind of went down, because it was it hit me, and it's hey, there's no crying, there's no crying in baseball, and I'm new, they're probably what is he like, and a lot of people understand, you get so emotional about things like that, but I hit it pretty well. I hit it just because, I just didn't want my new teammates that were all veterans to be like, what's up with this guy? Why is he crying right now? And I was like, I can't tell the story right now either.
Well, so in that vein, though, you're trying to fit in with a veteran group, as we're discussing, how, but this is the most exciting thing in your life, right? You've arrived in the big leagues, you've fought hard again, with zero profile at the start of your professional career to get there. You did arrive with a clubhouse that had some unique components to it in terms of what the environment was like, and the personalities that were allowed to be very outgoing. And within that context, what was it like for you to be a rookie? Did you find that you had to stay between the lines, or were you did you just hit the ground running and feel like I am free to do whatever I want to here?
Definitely not the case of the latter. You could not do anything as a rookie back then. I mean, it was stay in line, shut up, don't say anything, just just walk the line. And it was okay because when you play with a team like that with all these great veterans and all their numbers and all their stats and their success, you're like, okay, yeah, all right, that's probably smart. Just be a number, right? Just fit in, allow them to do all the talking. We had Millar, that could do all the talking to the cameras and stuff like that. So it was like, hey, just do your job. Go out there every day. Just don't get in trouble, right? Just do all the little things to keep yourself in that lineup. And I didn't know how long it was going to be because Bill Miller was going to come back eventually from an easier knee operation. So for me, it was like, hey, just go out there, compete, show them what you got. And you don't know if this is, a 5-week thing. Could it be the rest of the season? But for me, it was like, I'm going to go learn a lot from these guys. I mean, we had Ellis Burks on that team, a veteran that was awesome that showed me around. Mark Bellhorn and I hung out a bunch. I'll never forget, man. That guy worked on his swing so much. We like right before we go out, like to hang out at night, like after a game, he'd be like looking in the mirror, and I'm like, Belly, knock it off, man. Let's go. Let's have fun. We'll get it tomorrow. And just a great group of guys that were all unique. And I think that's the thing about baseball. It's funny, like the outside world is always like, oh, are you guys all best friends? And I go, no, we're not all best friends. Like, we have our little groups and we really enjoy each other when we play on the field, but everyone's unique and the personalities are different. And some people like to go out here and some people are, religious or whatever. And I think that's the fun part about baseball is the diversity of the characters. And so I was very lucky, though. They took me under their wing, and I mean, it was wild. I'll just say that it was just a wild ride that I had a lot of fun, just hanging out with these guys and talking baseball and just all the new cities. I mean, where do you go? I don't know where to go out. And they would just take me. And when you're a rookie, the best part about it is you don't pay for anything, so it's a fun ride.
So, again, it's unique environmental circumstances that you're arriving in the big leagues. Like, as you're coming up through the Red Sox system, how mindful are you of this 86-year-old weight that's been forming over the organization? Like, how, because this is a conversation that we have sometimes with current minor leaguers, where it's like as they're coming through, they're being told that they're part of a winning. They're expected to be part of like this next winning group that maybe is coming in a couple of years, right? That's what they're hearing. At that time, every loss had like consequence to it with the Boston Red Sox. And certainly any season that didn't have a championship at the end of it, at that point, it was like this, like another devastating, like Tetris layer that's like just being dropped down, or I guess an anvil is a better way of putting it, right? Like another anvil being crushed on top of
a grand piano out of an upper floor. There's lots of analogies for how crushing.
I have lots of Looney Tunes. We can go into a whole Looney Tunes podcast some other time, but yeah, I guess like what's your perspective on this whole thing as a kid from Cincinnati, but entering the Red Sox system as you're coming up and expected to be part of the, like there's this giant thing that's staring all of you in the face.
Well, the greatest thing in life is ignorance is bliss, right? So I didn't go through that pain. I had no idea what that pain was. I was lucky as a Cincinnati Reds fan growing up that 1990 meant the world to us because we were so tired of hearing about the big red machine.